Hello everyone, MP Hater here, and welcome back to my newcomer's guide for Elden Ring. This is part 10. So in the last episode, we ended up finishing out Castle Morn. We defeated the Leonin Misbegotten, and we also ended up tackling the Tombsword Cave, and we did some exploration kind of west of this area. And in this episode, we're going to be doing some more exploration. We've got a little dungeon to go into there. We've got an item to pick up there. We have a tower here. And we have some runes to pick up here. After that, we're actually going to go access a tomb here that has a boss in it. And a lot of this stuff is going to be quick, so after we're finished with that, we're going to line up a few more things, but we're going to be headed to the Erdtree avatar in this. We're going to be also heading back to Limgrave Tunnels as well, and we're going to defeat the Stonedigger troll too. So, plan on 3 bosses. We're going to do Erdtree Avatar, Stonedigger Troll, and the Cemetery Shade, along with some minor exploration out west as well. So it's worth mentioning, if you are at level 30 to 40, it is a good time for you to go ahead and head to Stormvale Castle. The stuff there is level 30 to 40, I would say. So we're going to climb up here, and there is a scarab up here. So we got Divine Fortification, which is going to increase Holy Damage Negation. Trina's lilies, by the way, are kind of rare. Always nice to grab. Otherwise, we're going to head down here. There are 2 enemies here. I'm going to recommend having your shield out for this. One of them we can get to come over to us. So nothing special. So we get a scythe. Not really my kind of weaponry, but... Oh, got some rats to deal with. Alright, so we've done these 2. Now we're going to head down to here and here. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but this walking mausoleum is basically something that we trade items with later. Can't do anything right now with it, but we'll run into several of them throughout the game. So, some more golden runes. Again, I'm mostly hoarding them right now. Not super important that you do like I am doing, but I do like waiting for a rainy day to use most of these. Or whenever I'm in the process of trying to get more levels, and I'm really close. We're going to pick up that, and then we're going to head up to this tower. Now I like to head along the side because there's a ballista up there. He's going to be shooting us while we try to defeat the other stuff that's up there. Come on. Anyway, there's also a dude on a horse. And we want to avoid him too. But we are going to kill him here in a minute. All right, so this is a teleport chest. This is actually going to take us to the capital, way up here. So again, not a place I recommend going this early in the game. Though again, if you are playing this game and this is, you know, your third or fourth time through the game, by all means, going to a place like that early on will allow you to get early items. I'm just trying to set you up for not having too much difficulty in the combat. Okay, so now it's just us. Always a good idea doing a kill like that. Otherwise, that's going to get all the items that are over here. Next, we're going to unlock and enter a tomb that has actually a pretty hard boss in it, though because we're going to be summoning, it will make this boss a good bit easier. If you were fighting this boss, though, without any help, I would say hold off on this boss. But this is going to be the Cemetery Shade boss. And this is where we are on the map right now. Alrighty, so what I'm going to recommend from here is We'll go ahead and head into here, kill a boss, and then we're going to head back to the round table hold. So as it's pretty much all undead, you're going to want to knock them down, kill them. We got ourselves another cookbook. Which gives us the ability to make a rancor pot. Otherwise, heading here, boss door is there. So got a bunch of these skeletons to deal with. Got plenty of glovewort to pick up. All right, so now we're going to head down here. Don't think I have the... Oh, I do. Sometimes I don't think I have with a short bow like that. I don't think I have the distance. So be aware there is a guy behind us on the ledge who's going to be throwing stuff at you, so... So if you need to run, you can. Like I'm gonna run. I was trying to get them dead, but there we go. Okay, they're all dead. Then we're gonna come up here. These guys are real jerks. Anyway, got a golden rune. Come on. Hit it. Okay. And here is our boss room. So this boss, without help, is no joke. It's mostly going to be a fight where you're chasing down an enemy who is also chasing down you. He can basically kind of teleport and disappear into a fog, and he'll constantly do that, teleporting around. So you're going to be chasing him, and then whenever you're out of stamina, he's going to be chasing you. And he often does this attack where he basically will do kind of a... I'm gonna do it myself. That. So he's gonna do that. Basically, he'll disappear and then appear in front of you and do this forward slash with both of his swords. And he also has bleed damage too. So I do recommend summoning in this boss. If you weren't gonna summon in this boss, then I would say maybe wait 3 or 4 bosses before you try this guy, because he is a little harder, I would say, than some of the other bosses when you're fighting him alone. He also sometimes doesn't give you a lot of time to summon, so if that thing hits you, by the way, it will cause you to stop in your tracks. So let them get his attention. If you happen to have anything that does holy damage, this boss is also very susceptible to holy damage. Otherwise, again, not too difficult of a boss. We got root resin. So grab those. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to be heading towards is the Erdtree avatar, which is over here. And then we're going to be heading to the Limgrave tunnels over here. However, before we do that, I do want to suggest that we start upgrading. If you're not a magic user anyway, I would start upgrading a strike weapon if you don't already have a strike weapon. Just because you're going to run into enemies in this game that really do require a strike weapon.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
And this is a perfect boss for us to do that for. So I'm going to get this leveled up too. Club is really cheap, but it's effective for what we need. And we're going to go ahead and travel back to... We'll do the Church of Pilgrimage, I guess. So for this boss, I'm also going to go ahead and equip enhanced charge effects. Stamina would be good. Fire is going to be effective. This boss is weak against fire, and he's also weak against strike damage. So take that into account for this next boss. If you are a magic user, then you can summon in this fight. However, I would primarily treat the summons as disposable. They're not going to be doing much for you in this fight. Primarily a distraction. And I'm not actually going to bother summoning in this fight. I don't think they're worth it. I think they get in your way more than anything. So, like our bonk stick. So this guy's meant to show you how to dodge. Thank you. Kill that guy for me. So his main difficult attacks are going to be the butt slam. You want to run away from that. You can also dodge through it. Otherwise, when he hits his second phase, he's going to do this other attack, where he will slam the ground in front of him. So again, I like using this guy as kind of the thing to prove that you know how to dodge. That's holy damage, by the way. If you got something to deal with holy damage, it's fine. This is his most dangerous attack. However, you can just walk. That way you can focus on dodging. And he's dead. So for your troubles, you're going to get the Opaline Bubble Tier and the Crimson Burst Crystal Tier. So this one is going to restore HP for a time in a mixed physic. However, the real important one is going to be the Opaline Bubble Tier. This is going to negate a whole bunch of damage from an enemy attack. It's a one-time use though, so you want to use it whenever an enemy is doing an attack that's a one-shot. Some bosses in this game do have one-shot attacks, so definitely good to use against certain bosses. Otherwise though, we're actually going to head over here for an item. And then we're going to head for the Stonedigger troll, who's in the Limgrave ruins, the Limgrave tunnels. So you might remember this place from before. We took a elevator down. So you can see that there are tunnels off to the sides. That's a key about these places. In fact, there are quite a few of these places in the game. So I always suggest kind of jumping off the side, seeing what items you can find, because oftentimes you'll find secrets. In fact, in this particular tunnel, the actual path leading to the boss is actually in one of these secret tunnels. Now, most of the enemies that we have in this place are going to be the type that your weapons bounce off of, so that's why I recommended the bounce stick, or something that does strike damage. So I got some smithing stones. More smithing stones. Back here we have rats. And then we're going to head down this path. It's going to take us to another elevator. And we're going to drop off this one like before. Nothing at this one, by the way, but a path down. There's also the actual path leading to the boss, but we're going to go in here first. So be wary, there are dogs in here. I'm going to try to deal with them first before we deal with the other enemies. More smithing stones. And now we're heading back. So you might have seen as we came up, right there is another path. I'm gonna roll off here. And this actually leads to the boss. However, got a couple of more things to grab first. So this one right here has a golden rune. And we also have some somber smithing stone. And then that's going to take us to the boss. So there is some more normal smithing stone off to our right that we're going to pick up. So there's not a whole lot to this boss. He basically does some steps on the ground, some heavy-handed steps, and that can do some damage. However, his main attack is going to be with his bonk stick. He's basically got a bonk stick, kind of like us, in fact. And whenever he gets angry, he'll start basically kind of hitting the ground repeatedly as he moves forward. So that can be a pretty dangerous attack. You want to stay well away from that. If you stay underneath him or behind him, that'll make this fight a lot easier. Otherwise, though, this is another one of these fights that we can very easily summon in help, and it'll make the fight a lot easier. And again, I'm all about making the game easy for new players. So fire is always good. The real magic about this fight, though, is to make this guy fall over. Look at all that health. And there's his angry swing. But he's dead. Yeah, if you've been following what I'm doing, you should be at plenty high level to deal with all of their attacks. Otherwise, that's going to bring us to the end of the Limgrave tunnels for now. The next thing that we're going to do, since we have a little bit of time, I'm actually going to head over to the Agil Lake North, and we're going to tackle the Knights Cavalry. So it needs to be nighttime for this to work. Now, if you have a weapon that has a good R2, you can probably knock this guy off of his horse. I do recommend that we deal with all of the enemies that are out here first, though, because some of them could interrupt our fights. Now you can fight this guy on horse if you like. You'll want a longer weapon probably for that. I personally think he's easier to fight on foot, but I'll leave that to you to decide. Oh, he really is just able to dodge all those, isn't he? God, what irritating enemy. You can see by the way his health is, he has a different health bar. And that's because his horse also has a health bar. If you knock him on off his horse, this becomes, oh, so much easier. Good night. All right, so we got National War for that. We're going to head to the other one and also defeat it. And then we're going to wrap the episode, I think. So mostly it's just trying to get in cheap shot hits. I really don't like these fights because The weapon that I have right now is not effective against them at all because it just doesn't have the range. Looks like I'm about 200 off of another level. A little over 200. So this one does bleed damage. But otherwise, it's basically more of the same. Like before, same thing. He'll stand up, try to get in a few cheap shots. If you aren't quick about it, he will call his horse again. Anyway, guys, flail, and we got the ash for barricade shield, which is pretty nice.
Trading it.
Let's see. We'll buy some more upgrade materials.
You will.
Always nice to have those. But with that, I think that's going to wrap it out. We have defeated the Erdtree Avatar. We've defeated the Stonedigger Troll, the Cemetery Shade, and both Knights Cavalry. So that's 5 bosses in a single episode, a little over 30-ish minutes. So in the next episode, we're going to continue tackling bosses, and we probably got 2 more episodes before we head to Stormvale Castle, I think, because we still got the Rune Bear to deal with. We got the Flying Dragon Agil. We got the 2 Deathbirds to deal with. The Ancient Hero of Zamora. I think we're going to tackle each of those in the next episode. And then in the episode after that, we've got the Tree Sentinel, the Erdtree Burial Watchdog, and the Impaler's Catacombs, which is a pretty hard fight. We've also got the Bell Bearing Hunter, who appears at night at the War Master's Shack. And then that pretty much is going to take us up to Stormvale. So with that, hope to see you in the next one. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.